This video is presented to you by www.testprepadda.com. Dear students, in this video lecture of kinematics, I'll talk about distance and displacement. To understand distance and displacement, I'll take an example here. Consider in the morning 8 o'clock, you are at point A and you start moving from this point A in a given frame to point B. And then to point C. And finally to point D. You reach to this point D at 11 o'clock. So what is the length of the path you traveled in this time interval 11 minus 8, that means 3 hours. You started from point A at 8 o'clock and you reached point D at 11 o'clock. So the time interval will be 11 minus 8 means 3 hours. So what is the length of the path you traveled in this 3 hours? That will be equal to length of this AB plus length BC plus length CD. This total length traveled by you is called distance during the time interval of 3 hours. Got the idea? So what is the distance? How will you define distance? Distance is the total length traveled. Now if I join this initial point with this final point like this, this is the shortest distance. This is the shortest distance between A and D. And this shortest distance is known as displacement. So how will you define displacement? Displacement is shortest distance between initial and final points. So if we fix the initial and final points, then it does not matter. It does not matter what path you adopt to reach point D from A. You can reach like this. 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 So, whatever path you adopt, the shortest distance will remain the same. So, what conclusion we can derive from here? The displacement becomes independent of path. The displacement is independent of the path. But distance is dependent on path and is the length of the path traveled. Now, dear students, please note that the displacement is a vector quantity. Displacement is a vector quantity, which means it has magnitude as well as direction. Magnitude is Magnitude is the length of the straight line joining initial and final points. And what is the direction? Direction is from initial to final point. Like in this case, this is the direction and this is the length, or you say magnitude of the displacement. Another important point here is distance is a scalar quantity, means it has only magnitude, and distance is always greater than or equal to the magnitude of the displacement. And in another important point, the equality holds only if the motion is on a straight line and in one direction. Now we will take few questions here to understand the concept of distance and displacement. The question says you go from your school to your house, and then your house to playground, and then back to your house, and again from your house to playground. Your school, house and playground fall along the line shown in figure given below. The question says find distance covered by you. Second, magnitude and direction of the displacement. Now, the distance is actually the distance between school and house plus the distance between house and playground plus the distance between playground and house plus house to playground. Got the idea? So it will be 5 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6, and the addition comes as 23. So the distance traveled by you is actually 23 kilometers. Now, as per the definition, what is the displacement? Displacement is the shortest distance between initial and final point. Your initial point is school and your final point is playground. So what is the minimum displacement? Oh, sorry, what is the minimum distance? The magnitude here, will be equal to length SP, means distance between school and playground, and that from here you can say 11 kilometer. So magnitude of the displacement is 11 kilometer. And what is the direction? Direction is from school to playground. Direction will be this. This is the direction of the displacement. Now I'll take another question here. The question says, a lady moves on a semicircular track of radius 80 meter during a morning walk. If she starts at one end of the track and reaches at the other end, find the distance covered and displacement of the lady. Now here, if I draw, this is the initial point, this is the final point, and this way the lady walks. So the distance covered will be nothing but the distance covered will be actually half of the circumference, and so the circumference of the circle can be written as 2 pi r, so half of this will be pi r, and the radius of the track is given as 80 meter. So I can substitute here pi as 22 by 7 and r as 80. So the value will come as 251.4 meter. Now what about displacement? As we know, displacement, the magnitude of the displacement is the shortest distance. Shortest distance is nothing but this. And what is this? This is the diameter. So it will be 2r, and which I will write as 2 into 80, and that comes as 160 meter. And what is the direction? Direction of the displacement is this. A direction of ray IF. Ray IF. This is the direction. Got the idea? Okay. Now I'll take another question here to understand distance and displacement concept. Here the question says, a car is driven east for a distance of 60 kilometer and then north for 35 kilometer, and then in a direction 60° east of north for 30 kilometers. Draw the vector diagram and find the displacement of the car from initial point. Now, what will you do here? We know, we are aware of geographical coordinates. East is here, west is here, north is here, and south is here. And the question says, car goes to east for a distance of 60 kilometer. So this way you will go for 60 kilometer. This point, let us say A, and then from this point we go to north for 35 kilometers. So this I say, let us say C point, this as B. So this is 35 kilometer, and then after this point C, you travel at what angle? 60° from the north and towards east. So in a direction 60° east of north. For how much? 30 kilometer. So this is 60°. So you have to find basically the displacement here. So you have to find distance between A and D. This distance you have to find basically. So somehow if we find this and this, then by using Pythagoras theorem, we can get the magnitude AD. For that, what will you do? We are aware of this 30. If we find this, what will be this? The value will be 30 cos 60 degree. So it will be 30 into half, and that is why 15 kilometer. And what will be this distance? This will be 30 sine 60 degree, and that will be what? 15 root 3. 15 root 3. And that, if you solve, comes 25.98, which if I take approximately 26, then what will be, if I consider this as E point, so what will be ED? This ED will be at 35 plus this 15, so ED will be 50 kilometer. And what will be this? What will be this AE? This will be 60 plus this distance, which we have got as 26. So 60 plus 26 will be 86 kilometers. So using Pythagoras theorem, you get this value as 86 square plus 50 square, and this value comes as 99.47 kilometer. Okay, and what will be the direction? What will be the direction? The direction will be this. Got it? Okay, now in the next video lecture, we will talk about velocity, speed. This video is presented to you by www.testprepadda.com. Testprepadda.com provides free audio-visual lectures of different subjects by expert faculties, free online tests prepared by expert faculties to students who are preparing for engineering or medical entrance exams or planning to take exams like KVPY, Olympiad, etc. It provides a platform where students can interact with mentors to improve their performance in the exams. The mission of this online medium is to help students to achieve their goals. Log on to www.testprepadda.com to watch free video lectures on different topics, to download free revision notes, to take free chapter-wise online tests, progressive test, and mock test, to discuss doubts with mentors. Thank you for watching the video. To stay up to date with the latest videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like us on our Facebook page, Test Prep Adda. All the best.